Fun fact, Dark Pontifex is actually Garnif's username. Technically speaking, it's XXX Dark Pontifex XXXX 3658798, but they shortened it. I love that picture so much. Is it just me or is he doing the DreamWorks face? At the very least, Garnif does look very smug.
Hey, check out my city. Pretty cool city, right? I didn't make it, but I took it over. It counts.
Quit looking at me like that, Garnif. Alright, so this is definitely a very tricky chapter. Probably one of the hardest in the game, I guess. I mean, overall, the game's not that difficult, but if I had to choose a hard chapter, it might be this one, because right off the bat we have Garnif down there, so he starts close to our position. So we got a whole lot of units. It's a very tight area right there. Not a lot of units can make it through. And, oh, we have Garnif a second time, and he's got Falchion a second time as well. And on that throne, there's a different unit. It's not Garnif, but we have Garnif over here as well, who also has I'm Hulu and Falchion. Oh, well, that's not good. I wonder what that could be all about. Well, yeah, probably. You don't need to sense him to know he's here somewhere. Of course, we'd probably know exactly where he is if we had the same wizard ears that he does.
And I literally mean dance. It's pretty good. Could have used some more pirouettes, though.
Well, I mean, in fairness, would they have really attacked you? They were so obsessed about killing me that I don't think they cared that much. I mean, they would have been a threat if they weren't idiots, but they're idiots, so there you go. Well, you're right there. Linde, can you come over real quick and just blast him with Starlight? He's just standing there talking. The gasp! They're all Garnif? Well, I mean, in fairness, there's only 3 of them, so one of them is probably you, unless you're doing the smart thing and not actually placing yourself on the map, but there's not much of a chance of that. Anyway, apparently I did this very quickly, but yeah, on this map, there are a couple of chests over here, which I completely missed, so yeah, that was my Gaiden run where I actually did get the chests. That talisman would have been nice, but it's not the hugest issue for me. So, what is a huge issue on the other hand is those guys with Swarm. Now, I've said before, Swarm isn't the worst thing, but it definitely makes me nervous, and it definitely hit me a fair few times in this chapter as well. I had some runs which just nothing really happened, or nothing good happened, rather. Stuff happened, but mostly it involved me dying, which isn't good. But yeah, you have to worry about Swarm, and of course, as I mentioned on the preparation screen, you also have that very thin hallway to deal with. You have to climb all the way to the top of this tower, and there's not really a lot of space to do so. Your units are really going to be choked up in that area. Not enough room for everyone, it's going to be all cluttered and whatnot. It's not a fun experience. Now, I believe that the Garnifs on this map are actually random, so while you could skip the bottom area for the most part, you might want to come down here and check to see if that Garnif is fake or not. At the very least, I know at certain points I have killed the one on the top right, and that's been the real Garnif, but I believe I have actually killed the top left Garnif before, and that one was the right one. So I think it's randomized. But I don't think I've ever actually seen him on the bottom. Maybe that's just my luck. I mean, it would be pretty good to see him on the bottom, because if he was on the bottom, that would mean you get Falchion sooner. Which, sadly, there is only one Falchion on this map. Oh, and this happens. Say, remember how I alluded to something earlier, where it is possible to miss Starlight, therefore there must be some way to maybe not kill Garnoff, but skip him? Well, this is it. Apparently, we just have to get to the throne, and that'll just turn off a machine, which is the source of his power? I'll be completely honest, that's a really dumb plot point that definitely feels like it was forced in there, just in case you actually screwed up and had no way to kill Garnoff, because if you don't have Starlight, it would be impossible to pass this point, and that would just be bad game design. So now it's just really weird bad storytelling. So of course, if you do try to seize the throne without killing Garnoff... Oh, apparently Malladus is doing a thing for once. Good job, you actually put in some sort of effort. I'm proud of you.
Oh no, that's my magic turning off sound! Curses! How could they have found the cough cough apparatus?
And he runs away. So if you do that, you don't get Falchion. Well, yeah, but I mean, he's kind of got an important item. Anyway, once you do that, the rest of the end of the chapter plays as normal, and I don't want to spoil that, but yeah, that's what happens when you decide to not kill Garnoff. Yeah, so make sure to do that if you want Falchion, and trust me, you want Falchion. It's a really good weapon, and notice it also has no durability. It's one of the few, if only, weapons in the game that you can use as much as you want, and it will never break. Which is good, because that's something the 3 Regalia really needed. I really wish they had unlimited durability. I mean, I know the Gradivis is very powerful and kind of broken, but at the same time, it sucks that it's like, oh, hey, here's this super powerful thing. Oh man, it's such a powerful weapon, it's so good. Oh wow, it breaks really easily. So yeah, basically my goal here is just remove all the swarm users as soon as I can, because they're guys I don't really want to mess with. We want them out of the way as soon as possible. The problem is, that one is easy enough to take care of. The guys at the top, not so much. Because Swarm's got a lot of uses. And while the Ballista is a very good way to hit them, you might have also noticed that it also did a lot of damage to Beck. So, the guys on the top can do quite the number on Beck, and he doesn't really do nearly as much back to them. And of course there's also the problem of the healers being there, so you either focus on the healers first so they can't heal but take a lot of shots, or take a lot of shots trying to kill the other guys but to no avail, because then they'll probably just be healed by everything else. Alright, so on this end we also have the problem of Garnoff. Well, more so Garnoff and his lackeys. Basically, having Linda use Starlight is kind of risky since it only has 13 uses, which, for her power, is a lot of uses. She can one-round Garnoff most of the time, more or less. So hopefully it won't be a huge problem, but yeah, you can get into 6 fights with it if you double for all those fights, and then one more single use of it, and then you're done. Which doesn't exactly work out too well if you have his lackeys attack you, so do try and make sure you don't have it equipped unless you're fighting Garnoff. Even if Garnoff's going to attack you, you should probably just have like a fire equipped or something if somebody else is going to attack you as well, just to make sure you don't waste it. Now Starlight is pretty powerful, so if you do attack another enemy with it, you know, it's not the worst thing. Then you'll still probably defeat them, but yeah, just in case something terrible happens and you need more Starlight, you should try to focus it on Garnoff. See, like right here, both of them are going to attack me, so since Linda is really the only one who can stand up to it, she's the only one who can go in. Because quite frankly, I don't think that Caster could stand up to Garnuf. Maybe the other mage, even though that mage is strong, but not Garnuf. Although, there does seem to be some sort of glitch, because notice I'm actually doing damage to him. Now, it's not just because he's a fake Garnuf. No, when I actually go to attack him with Starlight, he's going to have all that resistance again, and I won't be able to do a thing to him. I think it's just a weird bit of programming where if you counterattack him, it does damage. I don't know if this is a reliable strategy, because maybe it is, like counterattacking a fake does it or something, I don't know. But that's the other reason you do want to be careful with Starlight, because you'll notice they did fully heal, well, maybe not fully heal, but they gave Garnuf a lot of his health back, and that isn't exactly too good. On the bright side, there goes the guy with baloney. Thank goodness for that. Now, of course, yeah, see, now it does 0 damage. I don't know if it's specifically for the Garnuf clone, but whatever. Alright, let's take him out. And he didn't have a death quote, so it probably wasn't him. We do, however, get... oh, it's a steel sword. I was gonna say it was an iron sword. I mean, it's still not really worth it for our troubles, but it's slightly better than an iron sword. I mean, I can just buy those wherever, but steel swords, whoa, those are super rare. Alright, anyway, let's move on with our lives. Now we actually have to tackle climbing the tower, which you'll notice I've kind of been avoiding. I've tried to sort of yo-yo the swarm users, and that doesn't look good at all. At least that one's a Thoron user. I mean, Thoron's powerful, but at least it can't attack from a distance like Swarm can. And I can't believe I'm worried about Swarm. I mean, I think it has less accuracy in general because it has so many uses, which I don't know what makes me more nervous. The fact that it does have so many uses in order to hit me, or something like bolting in an earlier game, which was somewhat accurate and fairly powerful, but only had 5 uses. I mean, something like Eclipse, which was the dark magic long-range attack, I think. That honestly was never threatening to me, but having played a certain chapter in Sacred Stones recently, if you've played the game, you know the one. I'm now kind of deathly afraid of bolting. And also some other things as well, like Pegasus Knights, Generals. A lot of stuff ruined my runs in that one. I had a bad time in that particular chapter, let me tell ya. It's too bad that Ballisticians can't counterattack. That would actually be really useful if I could just have Beck fire an arrow back every time they tried to swarm me. Though, to be honest, they'd probably counter as well if that were the case, so maybe it's better that no one can counter from that huge a distance. Again, I probably should have gone after the healers first, because while I will progressively do more damage, I could 2-round him if I killed the healers first, but of course, then the swarm users will attack me anyway, so there's not really any sort of good solution to this, I think. And yeah, just FYI, I was kind of afraid of sending Julian in, because he doesn't fare too well against swarm users. Right, and now we had to take care of a whole lot of mages in this very thin choke point hallway. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really like this chapter all that much. It's kind of tough, but not really in a way that's fun. It's just a whole lot of thin hallways and a whole lot of very powerful magic users. And do remember, magic users are good against everyone, because basically no one has resistance. Even Seda now has no resistance because she is class changed. She might have had 3 resistance beforehand, but 3 is better than 0. Hey. Well, at the very least, we are killing them quickly. And thankfully, Steel Sword also does the job, so I don't have to waste a Killing Edge. Steel Swords, of course, have the same might, or strength overall as the Killing Edge, just without the critical hit chance. And I would really rather not get hit by that many Thorons. I would not like to be torn apart by electricity magic today. In fact, most days, that's actually a thing I don't really want to do. Alright, now let's see if I can distract them. The answer is, no, I cannot. Now, thankfully, doesn't seem like they actually managed to defeat me, because if one more guy had attacked back, that would have been the end of it. So thank goodness I finished them all before. Tiki really doesn't have that much HP, does she? I always get nervous around dragons. I mean, they have high defense and resistance, but that low HP is kind of worrisome. Also, for some reason, I didn't have the Iote shield on Seda, even though she was out in front here. That probably would have been a good idea. I mean, I don't think I took Minerva into this chapter. I also didn't take Maria either, though that's more because I kind of got the feeling she wouldn't survive if she got hit by Swarm too much. And I didn't really want to use her as bait or anything. I mean, to be honest, bait doesn't work that well in this chapter. I mean, trust me from experience, I know. Julian really wasn't very good at that sort of thing. Thankfully, though, we're almost done. As long as Beck can survive one more shot, we should be done here. And maybe Julian will actually be able to make it. Now that he's going through and Beck is being targeted mostly, Julian should be fine. Come on, be missing 4 health. Alright, well, we can take care of this problem finally. Alright, now we can breathe a sigh of relief until we have to fight another Garneth. But even then, Garneth's not too bad. He does surround himself with a lot of units, but we can take care of most of them on their own. And once we take care of them, then the way is free for Linde. And quite frankly, really don't think anyone can stand up to Linde. I mean, maybe she can only fight 3.5 Garneths, but nonetheless, it's still a lot of Garneth fighting that she would have to do to run out of Starlight. And I don't think it's going to happen. I am nervous about it happening, but that doesn't necessarily mean those fears are founded. Sometimes paranoia is just paranoia. Alright, now who wants to take care of that sniper? Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay, well, that's kind of understandable. But nonetheless, somebody has to go anyway. Because we're not standing around here all day. Caster, you got the job. Alright, well, that should go over pretty well. And that also allows me to position my units a bit better. Not that they can do anything against Garneth, but hey, having a good formation, always a plus. Okay, I will admit, I kind of expected Caster to do at least a little bit better than that. So, Caster, you're a little bit disappointing. But, you know, you can make up for it in the future. Or you can try at least. And get Starlight back up top. Alright, good. So, now we will be able to defeat that Garneth. And we'll see if he's the real Garneth here. And then after that, we'll take off his mask, and we'll see who he really is. Of course, seems like it's kind of likely that this is the one, because he's actually talking to us. Garneth, you're not actually supposed to say things. Oh darn, maybe I shouldn't have told them that it was the real me. Your power is not enough to defeat Medius, and now, as I die, here is the sword that will give you the power to defeat Medius. Oh darn, oh darn, oh, yep, that's my blood. Oh, there go my lungs. I'm dead. Hooray! And we obtained Falchion. So, What say you we put it to good use right off the bat? Player phase. Marth's looking a little low on HP, so maybe we should give him a little something. And now that we have that, let's just have Marth mosey up on up to this duller hero right here. So, you know how Falchian's really good against dragons and whatnot? Well, how well do you think it would go against normal humans? Think it'd be pretty good? Think it'd be a fairly powerful weapon? Because personally, that's what I'm thinking. You know, I could be wrong, but I'm gonna guess that Falchian's pretty darn good. Alright, well, let's position everyone around Marth, just in case he doesn't finish the job. He should put quite a dent on that hero, but heroes generally do have a lot of HP, so you can't expect everything. That being said... Oh, whoop, nope. That being said, though, we are gonna kick his ass. So... yep. Come on and try it. Oh, you did some damage. Good for you. And one, and Marth's not fast enough. Okay, so if Marth weren't terrible... Okay, maybe that 18 speed would have helped. How much speed does he have? Alright, let's see. Speed 15. So, yeah, I think that level up would have allowed him to double there. I forget, does it have to be 3 away or, like, over 3 away? Because that, of course, that of course would determine it. Either he's at it right now, or he needs one more speed level up in order to actually be fast enough to double. But either way, yeah. Again, if Marth weren't terrible, we would have just instantly defeated that guy. So, yeah, Falchian, pretty good weapon. And he's still not fast enough. Alright, how much speed does that guy have? 16. Alright, so at the very least, it wasn't, I think it is 3 away, and not over 3 away, which would be more like 4 away. So, I guess that's why they say 3 away. But anyway, yeah, so... Marth really needs more speed. I mean, in fairness, if you'll remember, I've already used Speed Wings on him, because, quite frankly, he was not strong enough to fight Camus without dying. So, it's kind of been a recurring problem for him. Now, part of it is I haven't leveled him up nearly as much as I should have, because, I mean, he can't promote, so there's no real excitement in getting him close to level 20 or anything. Now, I don't actually care about leveling him up that fast, because it's not like he's going to hit any point where it's like, oh, well, now you need to promote Marth. Nope, he's just Lord forever, so who cares? Just keep him at whatever level he needs to be. Again, you should probably level him up more for situations like this, especially since now that he has the Falchian, he's pretty important for dragon killing. So, have him at a decent level, but again, because he doesn't actually promote, it's not that interesting to actually level him up. Alright, well, for some reason that Garnif didn't actually disappear, so we'll just Starlight this one to death as well. Yeah, that one doesn't actually get the Starlight theme, because why and bother? I didn't even bother slowing it down for that Garnif. I mean, if it's not even the real Garnif, why would I do that? We know it's not the real Garnif, and we already know we can defeat Garnif, so just kill him in fast motion and be done with it. And speaking of being done with it, let us finish this dude off. Sorry, I know you're not really harming anyone, but you were hanging out with Garnif, so I don't think you can be trusted. And with that, we can finish. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a secret shop on the door above us, and that one actually has master seals. I forgot to actually show that one off, but it's not that useful anyway because everyone but Maria is promoted, and there is a master seal for her, so it's fine. plot convenience. Oh yeah, you know, just the thing that can tamper in God's domain and bring the dead back to life. What about it? Gasp! Not the Resurrectory! Well, I mean, it's a staff that resurrects people, so if it was to be anywhere, I'd be pretty sure it would be in the Resurrectory. It's kind of in the name. You know what that means, right? It's been years, but we can finally bring Frey back to life.